Jesse Christensen here for the Boston Film Festival 29th Annual. I'm here with Rob Kazinsky. How you doing?
I'm good, pal.
Excellent to see you.
Wow.
I have to say that to everybody.
Yeah, of course you do. Anyway.
I just got done talking with the director and the writer of the film as well. Screening was amazing. I really enjoyed the film.
Good, I'm glad.
What did
One.
yeah, I was the one guy saying.
Yeah,
giving the
so that was awesome.
Exactly.
Two people in the theatre.
Exactly. Yeah, the other guy. I don't think he
The other
liked this
guy,
one. What did you do to prepare for this role, as opposed to some of your other roles that other people are familiar with, like True Blood and also Pacific Rim?
I seem to get given good roles. I think that's kind of like the good luck that I've had of it. And every time I book a job, it's because I'm playing a role that I seem to understand. And you've got a guy here who's lost and wandering and kind of ostracized and chased, which is incredibly similar to the character I played on True Blood, which is incredibly similar to the character I played on EastEnders. So like in terms of understanding where and who he's coming from, it felt very comfortable to me immediately. The biggest hurdle for me in creating this character was creating something I understood and then putting something which essentially felt very false on top of it in terms of an American accent, which is not something that comes naturally or that I find easy. And every time you're doing it, you feel like, I felt like I was acting. And that was the major difference.
But you could have fooled me, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
Because I talked to you right before the film for a moment, and I noticed your British accent. And in the film, I couldn't tell.
No, there was a lot of ADR, but it was very much a case of, like, that was a huge obstacle for me to feel like I was getting into it and doing something naturally. And as the film progressed and practiced more and more and more, it began to feel easier and easier. But I mean, in my entire career, I've never played a single character that's had my accent. You know, even Sean Slater in EastEnders was Cockney, and Chuck Hansen in Pacific Rim was Australian, and then, you know, True Blood, he was Southern, but then I got to do a bit of me. So, you know, I'm getting used to putting on silly voices.
And when you say you feel like you're acting, I'm an actor myself, and I know that feeling. Do you yourself ever get that feeling and it's overwhelming and it gets to a point, and when somebody says cut and you let them know you are feeling that way and they say they don't know what you're talking about?
People generally will say, no, it's great and wonderful, it's a perfect accent, because people are supportive, but you know when you're wrong, you know, about something. So like with something like this, where there will never be anyone more critical of anything I do than me.
Yep.
And when I'm doing a silly accent, sorry, an American accent,
any
accent.
Yeah.
When I'm doing that, and I never ever felt like I gave a good performance. I never feel like I never feel like I ever get it, because you know, there are times when you're doing it in your own accent and there's no barriers and you're kind of completely in that moment, and then there are times when no matter how good you feel like you're doing it, you're still having to put on you're changing the way you would naturally speak. It's a big barrier for me. So whenever, like, Jesse would say, are you happy with that? I'd be like, are you?
Yeah.
You know, if they're happy with it, then I'm happy with it. All I have to do is give them enough material to edit around my mistakes, and then they have, hopefully a good performance to put together.
Well, you could have fooled me.
Thank you.
It was a great accent.
Thanks.
Great movie. Rob Kazinsky, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'll talk to you in a bit.
You will.